Thank you, Denny.
Yeah, you can take over. And
okay, let me share my screen.
Yeah.
And I just want to make sure you all can see everything. Start this from the beginning. Okay, can you see my deck? Okay, great. I'm trying to do a makeshift office here, so I'll be looking at a couple of screens if you don't mind. So good afternoon, everyone. As Daniel shared, my name is Mabra Silva-McHale. It's a pleasure to be here, and thank you to the Center for Advancement of Tigran Scholarship for the opportunity to speak on one of my many passions, which is community development, community building, and just share a little bit about my knowledge and my experience in the community development. So the topic I will speak on for about the next 15 minutes is structured and organized community building. I've been doing community work for almost 20 years, volunteering, organizing, strategizing, leading. And I will share examples of successful community building. And I want to encourage every single Tegaru to get involved and contribute to successful community building. So I'll begin with kind of sharing what's my, high-level goal, or what do I believe the high-level goal needs to be, and talk about what we can do and what some orgs are currently doing on the ground in the day-to-day to meet this goal. I'll provide some real examples of one organization in particular that is truly doing the work and seeing the fruits of labor, and then I'll provide a call to action to conclude my presentation. So what is the goal? The goal is to build and operate successful community centers throughout the diaspora. Okay, how do we do this? With a community center, we have the ability to purchase property or to build from the ground up. And I think this is extremely important because we will have our own place to experience all of life's events. I'm in the Atlanta community here, and we have a community center. And coming from Denver, where we're still building our community center, you can see the big difference of actually having our own space. And I'm so excited when Denver gets there, and Seattle, and Dallas, and all these other communities, because it really, really makes a difference. So when I think about the money that we have contributed to Tigray, not only during the past 16 months, but in the span of one's lifetime, I'm always extremely amazed and overwhelmed by the generosity of our people. We're willing to give every single penny we have for our community, for Tigray, for back home. And then I also, on the flip side, I feel saddened and disappointed as well at times, because every penny we do have, we send back home. Imagine if we invest in ourselves here, where we live every day, where our kids go to school, where, we live with our families. It makes a big difference. And I know it's a subject that we don't like to talk about because, it's kind of touchy, but imagine if every single Tigrian contributed a nominal monthly amount, $10, $20 a month, and we put that money into building a community center. We put together a building fund, for example. When we have a birth in the family, we want to have a baby shower. What do? We usually go rent a space. When we want to honor a couple who's getting married, we go and we spend tens of thousands of dollars in somebody else's facility. And over the years, I think Tegaru have spent millions of dollars supporting non-Tegaru businesses. So there's an opportunity for us to be more self-reliant, to make sure that we're taking care of ourselves, our community, and the money circles within our community. I know we always talk about examples with other communities who do that. I truly believe Tegaru can do that. And of course, that leads to economic impact. Imagine if we have a community center that can generate revenue. We can rent out space to other tenants who are looking to rent the space. We can bring on a daycare center, and we can hire community members who can run that. We can have a coffee shop and have community members who run that. It creates an economic impact when we have this type of community center. So of course, then the question is, how do we do that? Like, what should we really do? I think it's extremely important for us to get organized. Create a building fund. Work with the Tigray Communities Forum, the Northbridge Connect, which is the investment group. The investment group can share information with any community on how we can learn to invest or even build property from the ground up. There's so many resources we have that we need to tap into. It includes articles of incorporation. Think about if all community centers were registered as a nonprofit, registered with the Secretary of State, have tax exempt status. This means that we can get so many benefits as a community with these types of articles of incorporation when it comes to seeking funding or sponsorship or grants. And again, if you don't understand what any of this means and you don't know how to start that, I think that is where we tap into our network of the forum and TPN and other organizations doing the work so that we can create this community toolkit and have the resources where, hey, you want to start a community? Here's what we give you. This is how you do it from the ground up, from step one to step whatever it takes. And I can speak on that because it's what we're doing today. This is work that we are doing today, which I'm just so happy about. And I think we all need to just catch the wave and everybody can continue to do it. So that kind of leads me also to community programming. Well, so as you know, if you're not aware, the Tigray Communities Forum was established in 2017. The Tagada Professionals Network was established in 2018. I helped create the Tagada Professionals Network, or what we call, TPN. We've been in existence for 5 years, and we've been able to see, show, and prove, and see the fruits of our labor, which is really exciting. So community programming. What the TPN has done is create a programming structure around programming pillars, 4 programming pillars that you see on the screen here: social action and civic engagement, personal and professional development, networking, mentorship. Any type of program that a community hosts can pretty much fall within these categories. So once you have a structure for your programming, you begin implementing those programs, and that helps you plan for success. So here's some easy steps. Survey your community needs. I think right now, especially with what's going on back home, there is a huge need for wellness, for therapy and counseling, for coping with grief, maybe having physical exercise activities. I think there's always a need to help our students, right? How can we help them apply for scholarships? Or if maybe college is not that avenue, what else can we help them do with trade schools? How can we help with job interviews? So survey the needs of the community. And then I always recommend start small. Start small with just an easy event, Bunna time. Have all the community come together and we get to just enjoy each other's presence. Have a group dinner or a group lunch. Have a game night, something small to start that process of getting community buy-in and beginning to survey those needs of the community. Communicate often. I think we have to communicate with all members, from the youngest member to the oldest member in the community. It's extremely important to keep lines of communication open and to try different methods of communication. Let's talk about, here's what we're doing, right? We need help with this. This is the event of the next date. Maybe we just want to check in and see how everybody's doing. It's the first of the month. Happy first of the month, community. Hope everyone has a great time, this month. Just different ways for us to communicate often and continue to build that community and plan for success. Be consistent. This is something that sometimes we have a hard time with. I think whatever we decide, be consistent. If a community wants to do one program a year, then do that one program a year very well. If community wants to do, a program a quarter, great. Plan effectively and do that program a quarter very well. Just be consistent in what you decide to do based on the needs of your community. And I think another important factor is document everything. We should be taking pictures at our events. We should be recording our expenses, and if we get into a place where all of us have nonprofit status or tax exempt status, having this documentation really helps when it comes to applying for grants, seeking sponsorship, because we've already set up the process and the tools to be able to do that. So planning for success is huge. So what do these pillars mean? These 4 programming pillars, what does it mean in action, right? I shared that every program or every event pretty much falls within these programming pillars. TPN has been hosting events in Atlanta, where I'm currently located, Chicago, Dallas, the DMV, and the tri-state area where we have existing TPN chapters. And the programming pillars are at the core of what we do on a national level and a local community level. So in action, what does that look like? Social action and civic engagement. Social action is about people coming together to improve their lives and to solve important problems for the community. Civic engagement, engaging in activities addressing issues of public concern. We know all too well about social action and civic engagement. This is what we've been doing for the past 16 months in different forms of advocacy, call banking, protesting, signing on to petitions, writing elected officials. These are all forms of social action. This is advocacy that we've been doing this whole time. And I think what we realize more now is we need advocates. We need advocates who are elected officials. We need to be elected officials ourselves so we can advocate, and we need to have that type of political involvement. I think that Tagado and the diaspora are realizing more and more that it's extremely important to be civically engaged citizens. Vote, register to vote in all elections, contribute to campaigns of elected officials, join town halls, be the voice that can help influence our community. That's about political involvement, which falls under this pillar. And of course, there's community service and cultural awareness. When we think about any type of culture event like a Shenda, this falls within this pillar in hosting events to celebrate our history and our culture. And then this picture here, I love this picture because it's a picture of all the ladies who are leading up a national protest, continuing to advocate and do things for the good of our community. Personal and professional development. The most important skills that we can provide to our community should be focused on personal and professional development. If we want to improve our situations, then we have to improve ourselves first. This is first and foremost. So educational programming, any type of educational programming pretty much falls under personal and professional development. And we never have to stop learning. Education is not just for the youth. We all can learn. If we all want to learn how to read, write, and speak Tuinya, English too if we want. Somebody who can, want to learn how to play an instrument. We can offer tutoring for students, etc. And I think there are so many underutilized assets in our community that we need to tap into. Our network is really vast. I mean, several of the speakers who have been on the conference all day, these are wonderful experts in their respective fields that we can just tap into to support community programming. And I think that's extremely important. The first picture here is one of students in Atlanta, they're middle and high school students who participated in the annual summer technology program that was organized by the Atlanta community. And they learned how to code and create their own web page and presented it at the end of the program to their parents and other community members. And the organizers of the summer program were actually able to get a grant, and we purchased laptops for the students as well. These are things that we can do when we have our space and we tap into our network. And then training. In December, just this past December, the TPN hosted a leadership training for all elected and appointed leaders. Everyone flew into Atlanta because Atlanta has a community center. And we talked about how we can improve our leadership skills, what we can do to develop ourselves so that we can, again, improve ourselves first so we can help our community and improve our situation. So the second picture is of the current TPN chair who was sharing on how we can participate in investment and be part of the investment group. Networking. Deka Tigray is the network. Network is Deka Tigray. We are each other's greatest assets, truly. And I think with hosting networking opportunities, we can create change within our communities by developing self-awareness and understanding. And I love this picture because Boston, Seattle, Houston, Denver, Mr. Danny, and Dallas are all represented. This is a perfect example of the network. Imagine how we just tap into these resources and be able to support each other in building successful communities. And then just a shameless plug, Wa'ala Tigray is taking place in Chicago over Memorial Day weekend, May 27th to 29th. It is going to be the best networking opportunity for the community. And I encourage everyone to attend because all of these individuals from all, so many different cities are going to be coming to Chicago so that we can network and think about the things that will progress our communities. And then another networking opportunity to be determined is going to be Mission Tigray. So that's an opportunity for us to connect back home to our roots. And so TPN is working on having a pilot group of Tagado in the diaspora that will be traveling back to Tigray, God willing, hopefully soon, to build our networks there as well. And then lastly, mentorship. Mentoring is all about building a network of leaders, organizers, professionals, students who can communicate with one another and serve as a bridge for each other and for the community. It's about bridging the gap. And I love this quote. If you cannot see where you are going, ask someone who has been there before. That's what mentorship is about. The Tigray Communities Forum is doing the work. The Tagado Professionals Network is doing the work. The goal that I stated at the start of my presentation, to build and operate create successful community centers throughout the diaspora, it is being achieved today. And it's through impactful community programming that's creating this structured and organized community. So I will conclude with, my call to action. Join TPN, join Tigray Communities Forum, join your local community, get engaged and contribute to successful community building. I think every Tigrayan in the diaspora should strive to support this mission, support this goal, and take action to support community building. We should have our own community centers where we can experience all of life's, highest and sometimes lowest moments, and we can do it together. So get involved. Get involved. TPN in the Forum started 5 years ago with the big goal of, creating a little Tigray in the diaspora, and we began structuring what that looks like from the ground up. And we've been able to really see the fruits of our labor over these past several years because, we have individuals who are just as committed in building community and making a huge impact. And we want everyone to spread that awareness. I think the future of Tigray is depending on great leadership. We need everyone. We need everyone to contribute and be involved. So please join, contribute your time, your money, your talent, and I think we can together build out structured and organized community building that is going to allow for successful communities all across the diaspora. So with that, thank you for your time and attention, and thank you again to the Center for the Advancement of Tigrayan Scholarship for the opportunity to speak on how we really can achieve this structured and organized community building for the success of ourselves. And I will stop sharing my screen at that time.
Thank you so much, Maratna. And so everybody knows now why I have this nickname for her. I call her Maratna. So she's really our Maratna. So I call her Maratna. And I was texting that to her yesterday. I feel honored inviting our next speaker, Ack-lilu as a rock star from our TPN community. So Ack-lilu currently works at Iron Mountain as the Vice President of Enterprise Technology. He also serves as the co-chair for the Black Colleagues Employee Resource Group and as a lead advisor to Iron Mountain's Diversity, Inclusion, and Equity leadership team. He has been with the company for 14 plus years and holding various progressive roles. He recently served as a senior director for CRM platform responsible for the multi-year global RSM platform strategy and HR transformation. Prior to that,
Yes, we can hear it. Continue.
Should I repeat? So I am with one of the founders and established he was also on the served as chairman of North America Forum, TCM. Without further ado, Lori is yours. And thanks for joining. Thank you, Brother Daniel.
I'll do the best that I can. We have